everyone. My name is Heather, and I have SCA3, which is Spinocerebellar Ataxia Type 3. I'm just going to show you what it's like for me on a daily basis. I'm going to start vacuum mopping the floor, and I want you to see how, what's the word? Speech ataxia is great. How I'm moving, so you can see what it looks like. Thank you. Okay. So I just gotta brace myself when using this. So that is an example of me not really thinking about my ataxia, but like trying to vacuum. Oy vey. So a little bit about Ska. And I've got 5 cats, so you'll be seeing them every once in a while because I don't really talk when I'm at home because I live by myself. And so when my cats hear that I'm talking, they want to come out and say hello. To be expected, they're cats. So, SCA3 is a very inheritable disease. When one parent has it and the other one doesn't, it's got a 50% chance of being inherited per child. So, my great grandmother, May McKernan, she had it. And then my grandmother, Myrtle, had it. And then my mother had it. And then my aunt and my uncle had it. They're all dead. I was trying to figure out what it was. And so I did like 2 years trying to figure out what it was so that I could write my podcast. My podcast is called I'm Not Drunk, But I Wish I Was. And it, goes along the lines of my family history. I was trying to figure out what it was because everybody was diagnosed with something different. And then me being the first person in my family to be diagnosed with SCA3 and to know that it hasn't stopped. Like, I have other people in my family who I suspect have it, but I'm the only one that's been officially diagnosed, like, through genetic testing. And so SCA3, in my case, started with diplopia. You can tell these are prism glasses because of the weird, distortion. That happened about 12 years ago, 2013-ish. And then my legs started buckling while I was at work. I was a pharmacy technician, certified pharmacy technician. At a hospital, I was making meds, and every once in a while my leg would just buckle, and I would just like fall down. So that was pretty scary. It wasn't a constant thing. It was just like, but when it did happen, it was kind of like, why is this happening? And then in 2012, 21, I went to go do my MFA in LA. Well, they were like sister schools, so technically it's Columbia, Missouri, and so you go to a low residency program in LA once per semester. Come on, guys. I've got a cat trying to get in the oven. Okay. So basically, I was trying to figure out what the family disease was because I had a feeling I had it. My mother was diagnosed with MS, and so was her mother, but none of the treatments, in the early stages of MS, were very helpful. Now we have a million different therapies, and I wish I had MS because at least I would have a fighting chance. So it turns out that it wasn't. And my aunt was diagnosed with Mediterranean disease, and my uncle was diagnosed with some sort of slow-moving Lou Gehrig's disease. But nothing definitive, because they didn't know to check the genome. At first, I was diagnosed with Pompe, but seeing I only had one copy, I was a carrier of it. And so we just ran the whole genome, and the whole genome came back with SCA3, which does fit a lot better than Pompe. So anyway, you only have to inherit one faulty gene to get it, and so that's why it's so very prevalent in families. SCA3 is. So I started walking with a cane, and I got hurt in 2023. In 2024, that was my worst year ever. I applied for disability. I was waiting on it. I couldn't work anymore. So I was used to working, being very active and very important roles. Like when the pandemic hit, I was in a hospital, working overnights, inpatient, trying to make meds as fast as I could for all of our patients. And to see me now, like, barely being able to walk sometimes, it's pretty sad. But they got the best years of my life, is what I say about that, you know. And so I decided to become a substitute teacher while everything was going through, disability-wise. I was close to losing my house, all my cats, my livelihood. I got on Medicaid, I got on SNAP benefits, everything. And I was making like $200 a month with teaching. I am a lot better off in 2025. I did get the approval from the Social Security Administration because SCA3 or any of the ataxias are considered a compassionate allowance underneath the Social Security Administration, but they can still look into it. Like, you can't be just diagnosed and have like the early signs and be considered disabled. You have to have a progressive form, or like feeling like you're going downhill. So since 2023, when I was diagnosed officially, to 2025, it like right now I have brain fog and speech ataxia, as you can see and you can hear. So I sound like I'm high and I walk like I'm drunk, which is great. Life at the party. I cannot do stairs very well. I walk with a trekking stick instead of a cane because the cane is not very supportive for what I have. Like, I will wobble back and forth. And so I walk with a rollator. It's kind of like a walker, but it's got bigger wheels for me to go outside with it and stuff like that. So I use that for long distances. Like if I have to be in the airport or have to travel or if I'm on the trail, I'll use that. Um, hmm. So what else about it? Eh, I can't think of anything else right now, but it is what it is. Thank you.